Have you ever felt a sudden chill run down your spine, even when you're certain you're alone? That unsettling feeling that someone or something is watching you from the shadows? We often dismiss these moments as tricks of the mind, our imaginations running wild. But what if they aren't? What if they are echoes of something real, something terrifying that has happened in the very place we stand? Tonight, we're going to delve into 4 such accounts. These aren't campfire tales or fictional thrillers. These are 4 creepy true horror stories, rooted in real-life experiences and chilling mysteries. So, lock your doors, turn down the lights, and prepare to question everything you thought you knew about the world around you. Story 1: The Vanishing at the Lighthouse. Our first story takes us to the remote Flannan Isles, off the rugged coast of Scotland, a place notorious for its harsh weather and desolate beauty. In December of 1900, a chilling mystery unfolded that remains unsolved to this day. 3 experienced lighthouse keepers, Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, and Donald MacArthur, manned the newly constructed lighthouse on Eilean Moor. They were seasoned men, accustomed to the isolation and the fury of the North Atlantic. A passing ship on December 15th noted that the light was not burning, a serious breach of protocol. However, due to severe storms, it wasn't until December 26th that a relief vessel was able to dock. The relief keeper, Joseph Moore, ascended the steep steps to the lighthouse, an eerie silence greeting him. The door was unlocked, and inside, the scene was both ordinary and deeply unsettling. A half-eaten meal was on the table, a chair was overturned, and the clocks had all stopped. The men's oilskins and boots were missing, suggesting they had gone out into the storm. But their foul weather gear for the most extreme conditions was still inside. The official report concluded that the men were likely swept away by a rogue wave while tending to equipment near the cliff's edge. But this explanation has never fully satisfied researchers and enthusiasts of the paranormal. There were no bodies ever found, and the last log entry was cryptic, speaking of a storm the likes of which the men had never seen, even when the skies were clear. Some island folklore speaks of strange, ethereal voices carried on the wind and a sense of an ancient, malevolent presence on the isle. Was it a simple, tragic accident, or was it one of history's most baffling unexplained disappearances, a chilling testament to the unknown forces that dwell in the lonely corners of our world? The Flannan Isles Lighthouse stands automated now, a silent monument to the 3 men who vanished without a trace. Story 2: The Beckoning Darkness. Our next tale brings us to the quiet suburbs of a small town in Ohio in the 1980s. The Johnson family had just moved into a beautiful, 2-story home, the kind of place they had always dreamed of. But their dream quickly soured into a living nightmare. It started subtly. Objects would move on their own. A hairbrush left on a dresser would be found on the floor. A child's toy would appear in a different room. They tried to rationalize it, blaming it on the old house settling or their own forgetfulness. But then came the whispers. At first, they were faint, almost inaudible, seeming to come from the walls themselves. The whispers soon grew clearer, and the family could make out a single, chilling word: come. The youngest daughter, Sarah, seemed to be the focus of the activity. She would be found in her room, seemingly talking to an unseen entity she called the Tall Man in the Hat. Her parents were terrified, but they couldn't find any logical explanation. The activity escalated. Doors would slam shut with violent force, and shadowy figures would dart through the hallways at the periphery of their vision. The family brought in paranormal investigators who recorded disembodied voices and captured photographic evidence of strange anomalies. They discovered the house was built on land where a tragic fire had claimed the lives of a family a century earlier. Desperate, the Johnsons eventually fled their home, leaving most of their possessions behind. They were never able to sell the house, and it stands abandoned to this day, a dark stain in an otherwise peaceful neighborhood. This account serves as a terrifying reminder that some creepy true horror stories don't end when you close the book. They follow you. Story 3: The Unseen Passenger. For our third story, We moved to the open road, a place of freedom for many. But for one long-haul truck driver named Frank, it became a highway to terror. Frank was on a cross-country trip, a routine he had performed countless times. One night, driving through the desolate plains of Nevada, he saw a young woman standing on the side of the road, her thumb out, looking desperate. Against his better judgment, he pulled over. She was pale and shivering, and he felt a pang of sympathy. She said her car had broken down and she just needed a ride to the next town. He agreed, and she climbed into the cab. She was quiet, offering only short, one-word answers to his questions. After a while, he noticed the cab had become incredibly cold, despite the heater being on full blast. He glanced at her and saw that her clothes were soaked, though it hadn't been raining. A deep sense of unease washed over him. He tried to make small talk, but she just stared ahead, her eyes fixated on the dark road. When they reached the outskirts of the town she had mentioned, he pulled into a well-lit gas station. He turned to tell her they had arrived, but she was gone, vanished. The passenger door hadn't opened. He frantically searched the cab and the sleeper compartment, but there was no sign of her. The only thing she left behind was a small, damp patch on the passenger seat. Shaken, he went inside the gas station and told the attendant what had happened. The old man just nodded slowly and told him he wasn't the first. For years, truckers had reported picking up a ghostly hitchhiker on that stretch of road. Always a young woman, always vanishing before they reached town. Frank never drove that route again, forever haunted by the memory of his unseen passenger. Story 4. The Whispers from the Walls. Our final story is a stark reminder that sometimes the most terrifying horrors are the ones that unfold in plain sight, dismissed and ignored until it's too late. In the early 2000s, a young couple, David and Sarah, moved into their first apartment in a bustling city. It was an old building, but the price was right, and they were excited to start their new life together. Shortly after moving in, Sarah began to hear strange noises coming from the apartment next door. It sounded like someone was dragging heavy furniture and muttering to themselves at all hours of the night. She mentioned it to David, but he was a heavy sleeper and never heard a thing. He told her it was probably just the old building's acoustics. The noises continued, and Sarah became increasingly disturbed. She started to hear what sounded like faint crying and a man's voice, angry and demanding. She called the building superintendent, but he assured her the apartment next door was vacant and had been for months. This only amplified her fear. One night, the noises were louder than ever. She could clearly hear a man's voice saying, "I know you can hear me." Terrified, she woke David, and this time, he heard it too. The next morning, they contacted the police. When the officers entered the neighboring apartment, they made a grim discovery. A man had been living in the vacant unit, having broken in through a shared crawlspace in the closet. He had been secretly observing them for weeks, his obsession growing with each passing day. The dragging sounds were him moving his few belongings, and the whispers were him talking to himself and to them. This story is a chilling example of how unexplained disappearances of peace and security can happen right under our noses, a testament to the fact that the most frightening monsters are often human. And there you have it, 4 stories that blur the line between our world and the one we cannot see. From the desolate shores of a remote island to the familiar comfort of our own homes, these accounts remind us that the unknown is always closer than we think. If you enjoyed these stories and want to explore more of the unexplained, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content that will leave you questioning the darkness. Until next time, stay safe and try not to listen too closely to the whispers in the night.